जय श्री श्री राधा माधव भगवान की जय, श्रीनाथजी भगवान की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय. So generally we start with Jai Radha Madhav for purification, but we will skip that because I think we have already done Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So the schedule is like that. We will try to finish it by 9:30, and then we will do the Damodar Ashtakam. We'll just tell you what is the meaning of what is the significance of Damodar Ashtakam and showing the ghee lamp, and then we can have prasad. So I know it's late, but bear with us for a little more time. Thank you. So, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Narayanam Namaskritam. Narachaiva Narottamam. Devi Saraswati Vyasam. Taito Jaya Mudiraye. Nashtaprayashu Avadreshu. Nityam Bhagavatam Sevaya. Bhagavati Uttama Sloke. Bhaktir Bhagavati Naishtaki. Thank you very much for coming to the Srimad Bhagavatam class. So our theme today is one. I can't see that. I mean, it's okay, right? Yeah. Is it okay? Yeah. Or should I zoom a little bit? It's okay. So we finished last time 1.4.13. His guys Amrita Ripu finished. So we are doing from 1.4.14 to 25. As Kanai Prabhu said, we will actually go by theme wise. So among that verses, I chosen this verse. So first we will read this verse. You can repeat with me. Bhautikānaṁ ca bhāvanam Shakti rāsaṁ ca tatkritam Aśraddhādhānaṁ nishvantam Durmedhan rashito ayushaha Durbhaganscho cha janan viksho Munir divyena chakshusha Sarvo varno sramanam jat Dadho hitam amogdrik. It's just a two words combined. Anybody wants to recite quickly?
Bhautikānaṁ ca bhāvānaṁ Shakti hrisam ca tatkritam
Shakti rasam ca tatkritam Aśraddhādhānaṁ nishvantam Durmedhan rasito ayushaha
Durbhagamscha
janan viksha
Munir divyena
chakshusha Sarva varnashramanam jvat
Dadhyo hitam
amoghadrik. Just one thing, that when you say aim, like Bhautikānaṁ, aim, and on top of aim you see the point is pronounced as ang instead of mum. Like aim, but if you put aim on top of that this thing, you put ang. Okay, that is the pronunciation, because English has very limited alphabet compared to whatever is there in Sanskrit, or therefore it is. And again, even on top of a, like Bhautika, so you see a and top of that bar, it means a. It's a prolonged one, like o and a. But in the English there is only a. So what they did is that a bar means a. It's a prolonged, whereas a without a bar means o. So you can see there are many places with A bar and E. So it's not, it's little technical, it's not so important, but it sounds good when you follow little grammar. You will see a tune is coming. But most important is the essence. Okay, we will skip the synonym and go to translation for the sake of time. I hope you can read, right? I can't read, but you can read. Everybody at the back can read? Okay. So the translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The great sage who was fully equipped in knowledge could see through his transcendental vision the deterioration of everything material due to the influence of the age. He could also see that the faithless people in general would be reduced in duration of life and would be impatient due to lack of goodness. Thus, he contemplated for the welfare of men in all status and order of life. Purport: the unmanifested forces of time are so powerful that they reduce all matter to oblivion in due courses. In Kali Yuga, the last millennium of a round of 4 millenniums, the power of all material objects deteriorates by the influence of time. In the age of duration of the material body of the people in general is much reduced, and so is the memory. The action of matter has also not so much incentive. The land does not produce good grains in the same proportion as it did in the other ages. The cow does not give as much as milk as it used to give formerly. The production of vegetables and fruit is less than before. As such, all living beings, both men and animal, do not have sumptuous, nourishing food. Due to want of so many necessities of life, naturally the duration of life is reduced, the memory is short, intelligence is meager, mutual dealing are full of hypocrisy, and so on. The great sage Vasudeva could see this by his transcendental vision. As an astrologer can see the future fate of a man, or an astronomer can foretell the solar and lunar eclipses, those liberated souls who can see through the scriptures can foretell the future of all mankind. They can see this due to their sharp vision of spiritual attainment. And all such transcendentalists who are naturally devotees of the Lord are always eager to render welfare service to the people in general. They are the real friends of the people in general, not the so-called public leaders who are unable to see what is going to happen 5 minutes ahead. In this age, the people in general as well as their so-called leaders are all unlucky fellows, faithless in spiritual knowledge and influenced by the age of Kali. They are always disturbed by the various disease. For example, in the present age, there are so many TB patient and TB hospital, but formerly this was not so because the time was not unfavorable. The unfavorable men of this age are always reluctant to give a reception to the transcendentalists who are representative of Srila Vasudeva, and selfless workers always busy in planning something which may help everyone in all status and order of life. The greatest philanthropists are those transcendentalists who represent the mission of Vyasa, Narada, Madhava, Chaitanya, Rupa, Saraswati, etc. They are all one and the same. The personalities may be different, but the aim of mission is one and the same, namely to deliver the fallen souls back home, back to Godhead. Om Ajnanotimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manovishtam Sthapitam Jana Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Shavadantikam Vandeham Sri Gurung Sri Jitapada Kamalam Sri Gurung Vaishnavangsya Sri Rupam Shabrajatam Shagana Rugnata Nidam Tang Swadhivam Swadaitam Swabdutam Parijana Shaitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Shagana Lalita Sri Vishakanitamsya Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Dinamine Namaste Shashwati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunnavadi Pasyatto Deshotarine Mancha Kalpataru Vasya Pipa Sindhu Vaja Patitanam Papane Pavishna Viponamo Namaha He Krishna Gurna Sindhu Dino Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanto Radha Kanto Namastute Tapto Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vindavaneshwari Vishwavanu Shute Devi Panamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Bhavanityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So I thought of just putting it into something yesterday night, and hopefully it will be easier for us to explain. We don't have time to go by part line by line. I try to summarize whatever Srila Prabhupada said with some little realization. So we are just reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, the theme between 1 dot. My bad. Sorry. Forgive me. Yeah, so this is 1:4:14 to 1:4:25. Okay? Based on teaching of His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So this chapter name is Appearance of Sri Narad. Okay? So this is a division of Srimad Bhagavatam theme wise as mentioned by Gauranga Darshan Prabhu, and generally it is followed worldwide. So Srimad Bhagavatam 1.4 chapter has been divided into 4 themes. Between verse 1 to verse 13, it is a question to Shuta Goswami. We have discussed that. How many of you remember what are the 3 questions Shuta Goswami was asked by Chaunak Muni? Anybody remember? If not, I will just quickly say that there are 3. Yes, sorry.
History of Bhagavatam.
History of Srimad Bhagavatam. Second.
Who is Shuta Goswami, and then
Who is Shukadev Goswami and how he made to King Parikshit. And third. Parikshit's wife, King Parikshit, after having such a wonderful kingdom, he left this kingdom and started hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam. What is the reason? As you know, our scripture is based on question and answer. So these 3 questions has been asked. And then in the 13th verse, His Grace Amritari Prabhu explained that Shuta Goswami was perfectly qualified because of his devotion to answer these questions. Now we will discuss today the basic theme of 14 to 25, which is actually, it says that Vyasdev, how he devised the Veda, and then between 26 to 31, after writing all the Veda, Upanishad and Puran, Vyasdev was not satisfied. He was missing something, right? Sometimes it happens, right? We are doing so many things, but something is missing. What is missing? Srila Prabhupada many times said the missing part is a nourishment of our soul, because soul is not material. Therefore we need something to feed to the soul, not only the body. Body may be very good, we have a AC house, we have a big house, big car, everything comfortable, but internally soul is not nourished. It will not give me the satisfaction. And soul is nourished when it is connected back to Supreme Personality of Godhead. So after writing all the Vedas, it actually Vyasdev was not very happy because he understood he did not glorify Supreme Personality of Godhead sufficiently. And then we will see 32-33, Narad Muni, his spiritual master, comes. And if you go to the next chapter, Narad Muni basically instruct to compile the Veda and to put the essence of the Veda. And that is the history where when Vyasdev started compiling the fruit of the Vedas, and that is called Srimad Bhagavatam. Anyway, we will not go there. I just want to summarize the chain of themes. But we will concentrate today in the middle section, which is 14:20 to 25. Vyasdev divides the Veda. Now it has got a 3 division. The reason why I am saying that is that there are 2 ways to proceed. Either one by one verses, but it takes too long for us to actually move. Therefore, we have subdivided. But even if we are going by theme wise, if we do not tell you the themes, you may not be able to connect it properly. Okay, so our objective is not go each verse by verse. We can take the one key verse of one theme, but the idea is that at least you should know what are the theme in the Srimad Bhagavatam in order to have a chain of thoughts. Okay, so the 14 to 18, so it is within 14 to 25. Okay, if 14 to 25, Vyasdeva saw the anomalies and the degraded qualities of Kali Yuga people. It actually Vyasdev saw with his spiritual vision, as Srila Prabhupada mentioned in the purport, just like the astronomer can see where is the solar eclipse or lunar eclipse, just like the astrologer can see what he can predict the future. Of course, if it is an authentic astrologer, Similarly, a spiritualist, because of his transcendental knowledge and the scripture knowledge, can see what is going to happen. Then 19 to 23, what he did is, for the sake of all the status and the order, that's what the verse says. Status and order means, it's called, order means Varna. Varna means basically Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. These are the 4 orders. And remind you that these orders has not been created by birth, but by the karma and the quality. Chaturvarna Maya system, Guna Karma Vibhaga, 4th chapter says. So there is in our society, in the whole world, there is some misconception that this type of system is very bad. But actually they don't know the science of Varnashram. But anyway, so this Varna is been created by the qualities and the work that they form from. And then we have 4 status, right? Brahmacharya, which is a student life, Grahastha, household life, Brahmanastha, when you actually retire from the household life, and Sannyas, when you completely renunciate. So these are the 4 stages. So there's a 4 status and 4 orders. For all kind of people, Vyasdev actually divided the Veda, and we will discuss how he divided for the welfare of every people. Because that is what his motto. His non-motto is only to the sannyasis will be welfare, only to the grihastha. No, he wanted to divide the Veda and make it practically applicable for all kind of people. And sometimes it makes you confuses, but that's what he tried to do. And this intention was to spiritually advance all kind of people. And then 24 to 25, he actually compiled Mahabharata, which we call it as a itihash or history, is basically tells you the like Pandava and Kaurava, but he did it for the less intelligent people. Why? Because more intelligent people, less intelligent people is very hard to understand the Upanishad and Vedas. Therefore, he wrote this Itihash, Puran and this Mahabharata, so that actually they can understand it, but just by remembering. It is very easy to understand. I think all of you, in fact, if you ask 95% Indian people might know what is the Mahabharata, right? What is the Ramayana, Mahabharata? Because it's very easy to remember. It's like a story, it's like a lot of up and downs, political, economical, and all those things. But if you look at that, by this, the Krishna's, by this, what is actually getting preached? The preaching is, if you are honest and if you are in the virtue of, in the path of religion and following Krishna, you will be winner. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partha Dhanuddhara, Tatra Sri Vijayabhuti Dhruva Matir Mama. Sanjay is concluding at the end of Bhagavad Gita. Whenever there is Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, and whenever there is Arjuna, who is a devotee of Krishna, certainly there will be victory. No matter in between whatever turmoils or problem, it will be always victory. So by remembering that history or pastime, you basically get the essence, which is actually the essence of Veda. So it's another way of little bit common people to understand the essence of Veda. So he compiled the Mahabharata. So we have taken 17 to 18, one of the verse, but we will try to kind of connect to all the 3 blocks so that you understand this middle theme, which is 14 to 24. 5 Vyasdeva divides the Veda. What is? Oh my God, time is running like anything. Okay. So let's discuss how Veda has been divided for the sake of our understanding. So Vedic teaching, initially Veda was one, is called Yajur Veda, and then Vyasdev actually expanded it and divided it to Riksham, Juju, Atharva. But then he actually created a Upanishad. We know we have 108 Upanishad like Isha Upanishad, and there are many Upanishads are there, and that is basically a philosophy stream. If you open our Isha Upanishad, you will see everywhere it is like a philosophy. Okay, so that's called Isha Upanishad stream, and the summary of that Upanishad is called Gita Upanishad. Gita means song. The summary of the Upanishad presented in the form of song sung by Supreme Personality of Godhead is called Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavat means from Lord, and Gita means in the form of song. And this is also called the milk of Upanishad. If you know the Gita Mahatma, it is said that if Veda is like a cow, the milk of the cow is Gita. And who is milking? Krishna, Supreme Personality of God in himself. And who is drinking? The devotee of Krishna, Arjuna. So this is how this stream is. It's called philosophy stream. But then there is another stream which is for little less intelligent, who doesn't want to spend so much time, in Bhagavad Gita. It's too complicated, I don't understand. Okay, for them the Puran and Mahabharata has been written. And then Puran also, there are three parts called Satapuran, Rajapuran, Tamapuran. Mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. You will see some people are in mode of ignorance. Okay, for them talking about the Skanda Puran or Padma Puran may not be suitable, because it is too hard for them to understand Vishnu Puran. For them, Durga, Parvati, Shiva, Kali, those Purans has been told, because they can easily relate. If you know that Vaishnavas never take non-veg, but in the Vedas, it is for the mode of ignorance people, it is okay for them to sacrifice the goat and take the meat. It is not to promote the meat eating, but it is basically because those people cannot leave meat. Actually, it is prescribed. You can at least sacrifice the goat so that the goat can get delivered, and you can take little offered to Kali, that prasad, so that slowly you can improve. Just like Prabhupada gives example, just like a drunkard. If a drunkard taking 100 pegs every day, he goes to doctor, I want to quit, and then doctor said, from tomorrow, this is a medicine, from tomorrow no more alcohol. It will not work. After 5 days, he will go back to that, right? So what doctor says, okay, you are now in 100, make it 50, and I am giving you a 2 dose. Not that 50 is permitted, but next 3 months later he will say, okay, now make it 25. So that slowly and gradually you come to the level of leaving that alcohol. Because if you start putting that pressure in one, it will bust. After some time, it will not come back. So the Veda has been done also like that for different kind of people. It is done. However, the people who are already in the path of devotion, they can directly go to the Satapuran, which is Vishnu Puran. And of course, the summary of all those is Srimad Bhagavatam. That's why in the ISKCON, we only consider only Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Because if you read Srimad Bhagavatam, you get all the nectarian fruit of the Veda. You don't need to go all the Purans. But those people who cannot actually go into that level, for them step by step process, there are Satapuran, Rajapuran, Tamapuran. So that is the whole purpose. Now, after writing Veda, the summary of the Vedic literature is called Vedanta Sutra. And Vedanta Sutra again is a very complicated subject matter. So, and nobody can understand. That's why, lastly, by the instruction of Narad, Vyasdev summarized this Veda into Srimad Bhagavatam, and it says that Nigama Kalpataru Galitam Phalam Shukamukadamritam Dravasangitam. So if Veda is like a tree, the fruit of the tree is Srimad Bhagavatam. That's why Srila Prabhupada encouraged, just read Bhagavad Gita, which is what is the foundation. Who am I? Who is Krishna? What is the relation? And once you know, develop the foundation, understand what is the pastime of Krishna. Because when you develop a love, what do you want to know? If I love my wife, I want to know what she likes, right? What she doesn't like, so that I can present a gift. I can do some, buy some gift in Diwali. I hope she is not listening. But anyway, so, it's a general tendency, right? So when you want to develop this love, you want to know more about that people. That's what Srimad Bhagavatam says. Bhagavad Gita create the foundation. Sarva dharmana parityajya mamekam saranam bhaja. We have to surrender to Krishna. We have to develop love. Man mana bhava mat bhakto. But how can we think about Krishna without love? We have to do love. But how can we develop love? By knowing his pastime, by knowing his glories. And that's what Srimad Bhagavatam unfolded. Srimad Bhagavatam talks about different incarnation pastime, and further 10th canto, all the Krishna's pastimes. So that is how it is done. And that's why Srimad Bhagavatam is basically the combination of Vedic philosophy and the pastime. That's why it is so dear to that. And the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam is called Brahma Samhita. So if you read Brahma Samhita, you basically get the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam. That's what our Vedic literature is. Okay, now we'll go to some key learning. We have 20 more minutes. I hope it will be finished. So some of the key learning from the Parpat. I hope you can understand why Vyasdeva has divided the Vedas. The reason is, again I am telling you, the reason is so that it can fit to the need of the people. Not that it's like same in Indian food cannot be enjoyed all kind of people coming in temple, right? Therefore, you will see Rishabh Prabhu will mix sometimes Chinese, sometimes Mexican, sometimes Italian. Why? Accommodate every kind of people, right? That is a nature. That is a nature. If we want to please, we have to accommodate what is the need of the people. The need of the people, because there are different modes. Somebody is in a very goodness mode. Somebody is passionate. Yeah, I have to work. I have to get a car. Somebody is ignorant, is drunk or lazy. So for all kind of people, they want to have a welfare activity because of his compassion nature, and that's why he divided the Veda. But at the end is summarized, because sometimes what happens, if you create too many division, people get confused. Oh, in the Shiv Puran it is written, meat-eating is allowed. That's it. I just take that part of Bhagavatam Vedas and enjoy, forgetting that the real goal is actually to go to the mode of goodness. Therefore, he compiled the everything into Srimad Bhagavatam, saying if this is the ultimate absolute thing. So is it clear somehow, like why Veda has been divided? Now we will go some key learnings. So, and that is coming from the part. First of all, what if you see one day what happens, Vyasdeva was in these verses are there, but I'm just telling it's a 1.4.16. Vyasdeva was actually, who is Vyasdeva? Vyasdeva is a son of Parashar Muni, and Vyasdeva is basically one day meditating beside the Saraswati river, and then he one day in the sunrise he can understand by his transcendental vision the problem in the Kali Yuga. So Prabhupada writes in the part that, and then in the translation, in the verse also it is mentioned what are the problems. So the problem is, there are two problems has been mentioned. If you see, degradation of the Kali Yuga. So there is a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.10 which says Prayano alpo ayushabho kalavasti nyugeyana na mando sumando matayo mando bhagyo hi padruta. So Prayano alpo ayushabho. So our ayu or our life will be shortened. Okay. Mando sumando matayo mando bhagyo. We are always unlucky. Upadruta, we are always disturbed. Sometimes corona, sometimes war, sometimes this, sometimes that. We are always disturbed, and we are impatient. We are unlucky. Our memory is short. Our life is short. That is the nature of the Kali Yuga. And Kali Yuga is known as the. And by the way, what is Kali Yuga? You know, and that is also a big mathematics. The Brahma lives 100 years. In the calculation of his calculation, in that 100 years, every day, 12 hours day, 12 hours night. 12 hours night he sleeps. And this 12 hours day, there are 71 Dibbo Yuga comes. Dibbo Yuga means Satya, Treta, Dapur, Kali. These are called millennium. And the calculation of the millennium, Veda is so perfect that calculation of the millennium is given, Kali Yuga is 432,000 years. And then Treta Yuga is double of 432,000, and then plus 432,000 is Treta. Like that, it has been given. That many of years multiplied by 1,000 is a 12 hours of Brahma. So when in this part it says Yuga is basically Satya, Treta, Dapar, Kali. So now we are in the Kali Yuga, which is going to last 432,000 years, and we just crossed 5,000. So there are still to come. Right, so you can see already it is such a situation. What will happen at the end of the Kali Yuga? You can understand the gravity. That's why Vyasdeva becomes very compassionate. And Kali Yuga is also known as the age of hypocrisy, quarrel and hypocrisy. You can see that everywhere is quarrel. Okay, there is hardly any family there is no quarrel. Okay, there is hardly any perfect society where there is no hypocrisy. Everywhere, whether it's office politics, whether it's social politics, everywhere politics is there. So that is the nature of the Kali Yuga. That is why we are always disturbed. We are always disturbed. I think 2020, when it was 2020, it was Corona time, you know, right? That time we are so like, somehow Corona gets over, we will be again like fish out of water. Like, we thinking, oh, it will be gone, it will be gone. Then somehow 2021 vaccination started and it started going down. Suddenly you see Ukraine war started. And then suddenly China-Vietnam problem started. Suddenly you will see the car prices, oil prices, everything, inflation, everything goes on, right? And then suddenly you see that West Asia, there's a problem. So you can see the problem, dukkhalaya mashwashatam. Krishna says, Bhagavad Gita chapter 8, I have designed it to be imperfect. How can you make perfect? If I build a software and then software, if I put a software bug, no matter how much expert operator you are, no matter whatever you do, you may do memory leakage cleanup, you can do database tuning, but software itself has a problem. Who will fix it? You don't have the code, so you can only run it at the bag your rate. So that is what our Kali, this world is made like that. So no matter whatever we do, there will be problem. And as the time goes, it will be more and more problem. And then another point is coming out is that why Prabhupada explained why there is a scarcity of the food, why there is the age and the memory shortened, because of the quality of food is going down. Now, can you see that this picture? You can see that there is a personality king is chasing a cow. Anybody knows what is this picture signifies in Srimad Bhagavatam? The cow signifies the earth. I mean, not earth, actually earth took the form of a cow, and that king is Prithu Maharaj. This story has been given in the Srimad Bhagavatam chapter 4. In the Srimad Bhagavatam chapter 4, it says that Prithu Maharaj came out from King Bena. Bena is in the dynasty of Dhruva Maharaj. So what happens is that King Bena actually reject all the religious activity, reject all the Vishnu, and then he started all the irreligion. And as a fact of that, there is the earth actually stopped giving the food, and the cows become so unhappy that they don't produce milk. Okay, and then Prithu Maharaj then actually wanted to kill the earth because they are not giving quality food grains. Therefore, earth took a form of cow and roamed around, but Prithu Maharaj chased and caught. But then finally earth said that this is because of the irreligion. So you start the following this religious practice and scripture, automatically earth will. Because you need to understand, earth is also under the control of Vishnu. So unless the master is satisfied, the servant cannot produce the grain. So that's why in Bhagavad Gita chapter 3, you will say all the yagna, who is the enjoyer? Vishnu. So if you satisfy Vishnu, just like in Govardhan Lila, right? In the Govardhan Lila, you will see instead of satisfying Indra, we satisfy to Giri Govardhan, which is the Krishna's expansion. That's how, if you satisfy the master or you pour the water in the root of a tree, every leaves and fruits are happy. But if you are not doing that, then earth will stop giving food. I was in Gita Nagari, it's in Pennsylvania, and even New Vrindavan is West Virginia. If you go there in Gita Nagari, you will see there are some cows who has given the birth of a calf, and the calf has grown up. Now, ideally, that cow should not give more milk, because the cow gives the milk only after like 1 year or maybe 6 months after the birth of a calf, right? But those cows are giving milk every day and night, so much pure milk year by year. And if you look to those cows, you will see that these are the happiest cows. Why? Because they can understand this is a place where I can freely graze. This is a place where I will not be slaughtered, right? So that feelings, cow also have the emotion. They have also the feelings. They don't have the fear. So they becomes the hand. They can see their calves are taken care very nicely. They can play with their calf, and that is how they feel this affection. And out of that affection, they start pouring the milk. And that is what used to happen earlier days. But right now, what we do, we just wait when the cow ends the milk, slaughterhouse. Okay, cut, get the money, again buy a new cow. Okay, milk, stop milk, go to slaughterhouse. You will see when I was coming back from Vancouver to Calgary, I was driving, I saw the slaughterhouse and the poor, the helpless cows are standing. Just after some time they will be slaughtered, right? So naturally, they are not happy. Why they will be able to produce the milk? So here Earth says that Earth took a form of cow, then that cow gives us milk, and that's how the good grains comes starting. So until unless we do not follow the religious activity and take care of the animals, also just like a children of Krishna, it is not possible that we will have the quality food grains and the milk. And if we don't have quality food grains and the milk, obviously Prabhupada says that our ayu or our age will be shortened. Okay. There are many things to say, but I'm just going a little quick because Rishabh Prabhu is looking the watch, so I have to be very quick. I'm a little afraid of him. So now so now we understand the nature of Kali Yuga. Now let's understand the nature of the devotees of sage like Vyasdeva, right? So first of all, many of us has a vision, right? Vision means you understand what is vision. But there is a difference between a material vision and the spiritual vision. Material vision, probably you can see that because of the artificial intelligence, 2020-30, we will make all the artificial intelligence, cut out the bank workers, 30-50%, so much material vision. iPhone 15, iPhone 16, iPhone 17, this, that, drone, everywhere you will see the height of science and technology. But do we really know where we are leading with this science and technology? That science and technology, as it is evident, is only bringing lot of harm and the problems and the sufferings. If you just open Palestine people, they're suffering like anything. But hi-fi technology is being used. The drones are everywhere over the sky and just watching and bombing. So you see, so it says that our missiles are guided, but our civilization is misguided. We don't even know where are we going. Where are we leading? What is the use of that so much science and technology? If I look back to my parents, probably I will say my parents or my grandparents have lived a happy life. They lived in one place, stayed with the family, have the social thing. They, of course, they have some limitation is there, but they are at least peaceful. But every year I think now my contract will be over, where I will be transferred. Okay. So you see, no matter how much high technology I am doing, I am in Canada, US, wherever I am under tension that, what will happen after 1 year? Will client increase my contract? What will happen to that? What will happen to my salary? Every time appraisal, how many of you are not in tension when the appraisal time comes? Raise your hand. Everybody. Everybody is in tension. Appraisal time comes. Yesterday I was having a discussion with my boss. Hey, he's saying, oh, you don't do. Okay, tell me what to do now. Okay, what I can do at the last moment so that my appraisal, I don't get bad rating, right? Everybody. But I am very good. I have very high-fi things. One day, my father was sub-assistant engineer in the government, West Bengal government, okay, in the irrigation department. One day he rings. I was reading. I was young. One day the phone ring, he picks up the phone. Then probably somebody says, oh, you are, because he used to sanction approve the design. And unless you don't approve the design, it will not pass. It's a government process, actually, right? Because of his position. Now, somebody might have said something, okay, you can do. He just said, don't even call me in the weekend in my family time. You come to office, we will see what to be done. Bang down. That time anyway, I was young, but if my boss calls for, yes. Oh yeah, I'm logging. Oh, it was the VPN password? Yes. Yes, this is the difference, right? So all the money, position, hi-fi technology does not really makes us peaceful. That's what the point is, right? There should be a balance. Of course, I'm not telling any science or technology student not to love science and technology. And that is also a very important point. It's not that ISKCON is against science and technology. I don't know how many of you know ISKCON Bhaktivedanta Institute has a science wing. If you go to the Origin magazine, you will see that they have a science and technology research wing. There is a sannyasi, his name is Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj. His samadhi is now near the Radhakunda. He's a chemical engineer, and then he did the PhD from California. That time Indian government sponsored, and he took the sannyas. Manipur is from Manipur, and he took the sannyas from Srila Prabhupada, and then he actually started this scientific wing of the Bhaktivedanta Institute. I don't know how many of you know that Juhu ISKCON with Bits Pilani, they are teaching the master degree in master degree in the quantum physics and Vedanta theory. There are many things, such things are there. Okay, we don't know. Common people, right? But what I'm trying to say is that it's not ISKCON is against science and technology. But if the science and technology says that everything started with a Big Bang and bogus Darwin theory, then our science and technology is against that. Our science and technology practice should be for the proving that there is a God, and we are part and parcel of God, and we are eternally related, not to take us away from the God and being atheist. If that is the purpose of science and technology, we are against of that. But the real science and technology means, in our engineering first year, they taught what is the definition of science. Everybody is scratching their head. What is the definition of science? Everybody did physics, chemistry, and passed the joint entrance exam. Went into engineering college. What is the definition of science? They said science is the knowledge how nature works. So whether it's a knowledge of how material world works or how spiritual world works, both comes under the science. And that's why Srila Prabhupada says Krishna consciousness is a science. Because Krishna consciousness tells you how the spiritual world and material world work together. So the point is, what I'm trying that don't think by this discussion that we are against of the science and technology. But that bogus science which tells that we came from nothing, from a Big Bang theory, that is actually bogus. And I think in his case, Amrithari Prabhu will do a drama. You will see a good logic. Please attend that drama. I don't know whether this year or next year, but there's a very good drama is going to come where he will present this as a, some theme is there in the drama. Very nice. Okay, so we'll move on. Time is going out. And then another nature of a devotee. So there's a material vision and there's a spiritual vision. So the devotees are more interested in the spiritual vision, not only material, but at the same time they should know how to balance. And they are full of compassion. Because of the compassion, they want to help others. Otherwise, why will help others? I'll give a small story. There's a Vaishnava Acharya named Ramanujacharya. You must be all knowing, right? Ramanujacharya is from South. One day, Ramanujacharya went to Tirupati. Tirupati, you know, that is on the top of the hill, right? Now, that time there was no proper road and all, right? There was a stone path and all. So he thought, okay, instead of walking and putting the footstep because devotees are going, he crawled. And he crawled up and he went for darshan. He got a big laddu, you know, that Tirupati laddu, big laddu. So he took the laddu and he came and then he break the laddu to eat. Inside there is an ant. That ant is a living ant. I mean, it's somehow it's life, right? He becomes so upset. He said, this little soul was in the lotus feet of Venkateshwara. I took him away. So he again climbed. And this time he's like, you know, because he crawled, his knees are like bleeding. So he put it on the hand. I mean, like, you know, how, I don't know how he does, I can't do. But anyway, so it's said that he put it on the hand and he went to this Venkateshwara, put the hand back there and then took the hand. This is called compassion. Compassion to every living soul. Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane ghavini hastini shuni shaiva shapakecha pandita samadarshina. Pandit, or who is real knowledge, when you see soul is everywhere, there is a soul, everybody is a part and parcel of Krishna. Even there's in the Chaitanya Chaitamrita also, Vasudev Datta, he says, oh my Lord, let me suffer in the hell, but please take everybody back to Godhead. Vasudev Vipra, there's a person who has a leprosy. And that leprosy, you know, that time there was no medicine, and then there was a worm in the leprosy, and they take the flesh, right? They eat the flesh in that worm. So they, how, you know, how compassionate is, when the worm fell down, he will put the worm back, so that he does not, that a worm takes the place. Of course, by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he got cured. So what I'm trying to say, this is a level of compassion. And of course, you know, Srila Prabhupada, 2 heart attacks, 70 years, so 69 years old. He moved from east to west just for us. That is called compassion. Vaishnava means compassion. That's a nature. So now the third thing is that, so if you are compassion, naturally you want to do something. right? You want to do something for others. Now that is called welfare, for benefit of something. That is what is meant by welfare. Now welfare can be done two types, like material welfare, as you can see, homeless people giving the food, and then you get a spiritual welfare. Now many people philanthropists will claim, what ISKCON does for the poor? I was asked by many people, what is ISKCON does for the poor? Or do they feed them? Do they just do the Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna? What is the benefit? Right? But we need to understand a little deep from the science of Bhagavad Gita that material welfare is only related to the material body. It is temporary, and the most important thing, by that you cannot cross the law of karma. We need to understand why that person is suffering. What is the root cause? Just like when you go to the expert doctor, the doctor does a blood test and try to find out what is the root cause of your disease, and then try to put medicine. So you need to understand what is the root cause of the problem. Is it, of course, we are suffering because of the karma effect of the previous life. And who can, by doing food on something, you cannot change the consciousness of karma. It can only be done by the mercy of Krishna. Right? Just like example, Srila Prabhupada gives, if you are in a prison house, you are suffering. Why? Because you have done a crime. But that crime can be relieved if you are a good prisoner, only not by the jailer, not by anyone else, but by the president or the king, because they are above that. So by the mercy. So until unless you don't connect to Krishna, that law of karma will not. The consciousness will not change. You give the money, he will drink and he will beat his wife. Okay, so what's the point? The point is to change the consciousness. That's why it is important to bring the soul back to Krishna. That is called spiritual welfare. And that is what Krishna, of course, that does not mean ISKCON does not take care of the material needs. If you know that in the Ukraine war, the Poland, ISKCON Poland and all those surrounding, right? You can surround it. They give the shelter, they give the food. ISKCON Ukraine also doing the food distribution, shelter, everything they are doing, but in connection with Krishna, putting Krishna as a center. Because if you miss Krishna, the mercy will be missing. It will be only temporary and body related. Therefore, the sages, what they want the spiritual development. So Vyasdev divided Veda in such a way so that through the Varnashram process, we all improve. Even if Srila Prabhupada has done this ISKCON centers and all, he has a desire to create the Varnashram process. Because he told in his lecture that it is not that everybody can be devotee or everybody is ready to be devotee or leave that, but at least in the eco village, if you live in a conducive places, by living a life through the Varnashram process, you will gradually elevate. And that's what the nature of Prabhupada, and that's what the nature of the Vyasdev also, to somehow spiritually elevate. And then we know whatever you have done, next life you will continue. Nothing else. So what is the harm? Whatever in your account, if you put $1 billion in your account, death, your son, your children will enjoy. But you will again start in the next path, 1 + 1 2, 2 + 1 3, 3 + 1 4, like that, right? But if you put anything in the spiritual account, the balance will remain, carry forward in your next life. So even if you cannot be devotee, at least little bit. That's why Veda has been divided in all the Sataguna, Rajaguna, Tamaguna, and all the Varnashramata. This is called the spiritual welfare. So you can see that ultimate gift, Vyasdeva, what has given. If Vyasdeva was not there, how could you know the pastime of Krishna? How could you know all the 10 incarnations of the Krishna? How can you have Srimad Bhagavatam? Whatever we are discussing today, because of our Adi Guru called Vyasdeva. If Vyasdeva wouldn't have taken the pain, then it will be only Shruti and Smriti. It will be never compiled in the book form. And then after that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu encouraged Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami and all the other Goswamis to write the Vaishnava literature. You know, nectar of devotion, nectar of instruction, Chaitanya is written by Krishnadas Kaviraj. But anyway, there are a lot of Vaishnava Shastras has been written by these Acharyas like Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. Why? Because this is the precious gift. This will stay. Prabhupada said that what will happen to my 5 minutes lecture? You will go out and you will forget after one day. That's a short memory. You will forget. But if you take a book, even if you forget, you can open and remember. That's why the writing the books is most important. It's a container of the idea, his case Vaisheshika Prabhu says, and that can create the revolution. The books can create the revolution, and that's why Krishna consciousness is growing fast. Why? Because of the Srila Prabhupada's book. And Srila Prabhupada actually didn't do something different. Srila Prabhupada took the Vyasdev, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, or Nectar of Instruction, Nectar of Devotion, and translated to English so that we people who don't know the Sanskrit can read it. So he did not manufacture something. He just presented the legacy in so that we can digest it. And that's why this is the ultimate gift. Okay. And that, and what is the purpose? As you have seen, the purpose is, Prabhupada right in the last line. The purpose is how to bring back this conditioned soul back to Krishna. That's why I'm requesting everybody here, now that Gita Jayanti is coming on 23rd December, everybody here, we are doing the campaign called Read, Distribute and Cultivate. You should read what Srila Prabhupada has given, and you should try to distribute because you understand this preciousness, and you try to cultivate. Help a people, help a neighbor, help a relative to read it, to encourage it, invite into the temple, connect into the Srimad Bhagavatam class. Somehow or other, do something. Okay, we cannot do a big thing like Prabhupada, this Acharyas or Vyasdev has done, but we can do the drops. Every drop count, right? Then I will end up with one last realization. It has come from the, I was listening. So you know Damodar Ashtakam, right? Damodar Ashtakam we do. So, when the Krishna was tied up with a rope by Jashoda Mata with a grinding motor, as you can see below of Krishna, then Krishna start crawling. Then the grinder motor stuck with two Arjuna trees, big trees in the Nanda Maharaj courtyard. And then Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, like little bit pulled, and all the big trees fell down. And then from there, the two personality came out. It's called Nalkuber and Manigriv. Who are they? They were, actually this is there in Srimad Bhagavatam. So they are basically Kuber's son. And long back they were having a bath, being a naked, and when with the girls. And when the Narad Muni was passing by, they did not cover their body because they were drunken. So Narad Muni cursed that you will be Arjuna tree. But then when they realized they have done mistake, they wanted to forgiveness. Then Narad Muni said, don't think I am given a curse, you will be delivered by Krishna. So they got delivered in this pastime. But the essence is very important. Essence is Krishna, although it's a pastime from Krishna's point of view, but the way one Acharya is actually saying, you see, Krishna was binded, right? His conditioned life. He was bound. But in that bound condition also, Krishna is delivering others from the conditioned life. Many times we say, oh, Prabhu, I am so fallen, I have no realization, how can I distribute books, how can I tell others, oh, I don't have that capacity. It's good to be humble. But at the same time, what is the lesson? If Krishna was binded, but at that binded condition stage also, Krishna is delivering from other conditioned life. And when the Arjuna fall, what happens? Nanda Maharaj came running. And Nanda Maharaj said, what? Your mother has tied up. He untied him and put him on the lap. So you see, even if we are in conditioned stage, even if we are not pure, if we take a little effort to help others, it will actually return back to us, to free us from our conditioned life. Nice realization, right? So actually, Damodar Ashtakam has a real realization. But at the same time, remember that we can get a pride, every week going 5-6 Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, 32 Bhagavatam, who has done it in ISKCON Calgary before, right? Pride will come. Then what will happen? Remember Govardhan Lila. Indra's pride was smashed by Krishna. So when we go to the Govardhan, after Damodar Lila, when next day you come to Govardhan Lila, you serve Damodar Bhagavan in the Diwali. But next day you tell to Giri Govardhan, oh my Lord, I have got the pride. Please smash it. And help me to surrender to you in the mood Brajavasis was doing. Complete surrender. Sarva dharmana prityaja mamikam. Sarva dharmana prityaja. Leave everything and surrender. And Krishna will say, but smash my pride. Because I developed a pride by serving you in Damodar Diwali, you know. I got a very good bride. I decorated so beautiful. You see, Krishna, who made it? I made it. Okay, so I got a bride, but next day you come and smash it by the Krishna's mercy. That's how this Leela is been so useful in our life. And who had told us? Vyasdeva. Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 9th chapter, you will see side by side there is, Govardhan Leela, Damodar Shtakam Leela, this Kuber Manigrim, non-Kuber Manigrim, all those Leelas has been explained. That's why we are eternally indebted to Vyasdev and to Srila Prabhupada, who has translated it into English and every other language so that we can know that. Right? So let's do whatever we can do. Please read Prabhupada's book and please help to distribute. That is the real welfare. And that is the carry forward of Vyasdev's thought or legacy. Thank you very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. So, 10 minutes. I know Rishabh Prabhu was not there. I'm safe. Okay, so now we will do the Damodar Ashtakam. Just wait for 10 minutes since it's not possible for everyone to come in the evening. So maybe we can do the Damodar Ashtakam. Just by everyone's, how many of you are doesn't know the Damodar Leela? What is the significance? Why do we show the ghee lamp? Everybody knows here? I know many of you know. But is there anybody who doesn't want to know and want to know a little bit, 2 minutes? Okay, so let's little bit clear out why we are doing, because Prabhupada's theory is whatever we are doing, we will not be sentimental. Religion without philosophy is sentiment. We don't want to show the sentimental behavior. We are not sentimentalist. We are scientists. That's what Srila Prabhupada said, right? So let's understand this Damodar Ashtakam. What happened is that Krishna was doing some naughty thing. I will just brief it, okay? It is there in Srimad Bhagavatam 10 canto chapter 9. You can always go and read it either online or if you have Srimad Bhagavatam. The gist is Krishna actually, Jashoda Mata was taking care of the boiling milk and did not pay attention to Krishna. Krishna was 5 years old and he becomes so, not 5 years, it is very less, he's like a crawling baby. Okay, sorry, my bad, it's not 5 years, it's crawling baby. And then Krishna was so upset, Krishna put a stone to the butter pot and it breaks and he distributed the butter to the monkeys. You know why monkeys? Because the Treta Yuga, monkeys served him. And this year, the Dapur Yoga, Krishna served monkeys by distributing, everything that is there in our Shastra has a significance, has a reason of it. Nothing comes by chance, nothing happens by chance. We just don't know. Anyway, so he was distributing. Jashoda was very, very furious. So she caught him and she actually bound him, as you can see the Krishna's right hand side below. Jashoda Mata binding him with a rope. But she was not able to bind him because Krishna is supreme personality of Godhead. Who can bind Krishna? But actually Jashoda Mata was not able to bind it. It's always two inches short. Therefore, Krishna, but Jashoda Mata then surrendered. Then by doing that, by seeing that, Krishna actually accepts to be the bound. I'm just cutting it short. So this rope signifies our love. We came here to show the love and develop the love to Krishna. This month is known as Kartik because it came from the term called Kartika. Vrishabhanu Devi and Kirtida Sundari was a mother of Radharani. Kirtida Sundari is the mother of Radharani, and from Kirtida's daughter is called Kartika. And from that, so Radharani's another name is Kartika, and Kartik is the month called Kartik month. It's called Radharani's month. Therefore, it is full of devotion and very dear to Krishna. So whatever you do, show a ghee lamp or show some little cooking, cutting, cleaning, chanting, reading, distributing books, whatever you do is very auspicious. So at this time we will sing Damodar Ashtakam and show the ghee lamp to Radha, Jashoda Damodar and Radha Madhav. By doing that, Skanda Puran says that you can actually get rid of millions of sins from the millions of years. Okay? So let's do that with a full of devotion. And when you show that, what should be your mood? Varang Deva Mokshang Na Moksha Bodhingpa Nachanang Vinehang Vareshadapiya. Means you can give me any benefit, but what I all want, you stay in my mind always. Shadame manasya virastati manni. So you stay in my mind with your beautiful form. So with that humble prayer, let's show the ghee lamp and first sing, we will sing and then let's show the ghee lamp. and then and then you can proceed for the prasadam. This is very auspicious and only available in the month of Kartik. Tomorrow is Deepavali, when the Damodar Ashtakam pastime actually happened, and also Ramachandra returned back to Ayodhya. So please come. And next day is Govardhan. Both of them are holiday, Sunday as well as Monday. So because Monday is official holiday in Calgary, therefore please come and join these two festivals and make your life successful in the Kartik month. Thank you. Yes. You want to see? Okay. Yeah. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. And sorry once again we are being little late, but little be with us. It is really makes sense that you have come in the Kartik month, show the ghee lamp with the Damodar Ashtakam, and just enjoy the mood of Damodar Ashtakam, and then you can honor the Prasad. Thank you very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Yeah. And please, one more time, that please take some Bhagavad Gita with you. Gita Jayanti already started. You can take one Bhagavad Gita. Surely you will find one person in your life 1 year to distribute one Bhagavad Gita. But if you do a drop by drop, we can distribute more Bhagavad Gita, and we can distribute this welfare more and more to the society, just like how Vasudeva. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.